Hi, everyone. Welcome to Thursday. Hopefully, you're not too tired after spending so many hours taking the PSAT yesterday. But if you are, it is understandable. I want to be sympathetic to how much you were asked to do yesterday, knowing that reading is probably not high on your priority list right now. But I think you'll enjoy the next story and look both ways. Because it's Thursday, tomorrow, Friday, you will have your vocab quiz. So, in addition just to reading today's story, there's only one question I'm going to have you answer. Okay, so it's not super hard. All right, so let's get to our story. This story takes place on a street called Southview Avenue. The name of our street, you read it correctly, Ookabooka Land. The reason this story has a funny title is because laughter and humor are central to this story. Our characters that we need to pay attention to, our main character is Cynthia Say So Sour, her teacher, Mrs. Stevens, Cynthia's grandfather, and Cynthia's mom. This really is a wonderful story. I dig it. I mean, I dig all the stories in this book, but I really enjoyed this one. Because the teacher, Mrs. Stevens, plays a central role in this story. And I'm a teacher. And so seeing how my colleagues handle different situations I enjoy that. And what stands out to me most in this story is how a teacher can honor a quote unquote disruptive student for the good of everyone. Because I feel like the default response to a disruptive student from almost the majority of kids who go through the public and private school system is that if you're disruptive, you got to go. You got to get out. We'll send you to the front office, security, detention, suspension, something very punitive. But as Mrs. Stevens explains, she says, look, this was the only way to keep Cynthia from disrupting and disrailing the entire lesson. If Cynthia could be attentive and serious for all class, she'd get the last 5 minutes to do her thing. And what Cynthia likes to do is tell jokes. She's a comedian. And as a teacher, I find this out of the box thinking very inspiring. It almost makes me think of Jacob, because I know Jacob is willing to try so many different things to connect with students. That's why I trust that he's going to be the most amazing teacher. And all the students that are going to have him are going to be very lucky. So Jacob, that's for you. Okay. But the rest of this chapter also shows how behind every loudmouth student is a more complex and often poignant story that is worth knowing. And along with that, the skills of ingenuity, which are too often untapped and ignored, but could make the world smile. For example, this is an English class. I ask you to do a lot of writing. Well, what if art was your strong skill, and writing was not your area of strength? But you could demonstrate your knowledge and your comprehension and your understanding of, say, iambic pentameter in a piece of poetry, or the structure of a story, or the resolution, the conflict, whatever. You should be able to do that. And this teacher does. Okay? And ultimately, this chapter is also about the power of determination in the face of setbacks. And Cynthia has many. And how humor is used to connect with other people and ultimately to uplift the human spirit. So there is one question that is posted in a Google Doc along in the same post as this video. It's not going to take you very long to answer. You'll have the entire period to be able to do that. Please go ahead and turn it in. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a restful Thursday, a restful Friday, and a wonderful weekend. All right?